Charles Bennett. Charles Bennett, what up, bud?
Outside with my niggas, we doing the most. Grabs on the table, yeah, I been gone. At the base and shorty, she trumping it over. Keep steady, I told him I'm on one. Why you trying to make me be the bad guy? Why? Telling people that bitch you a damn lie. Call me an ex, young nigga feeling people.
Okay, today we have a client interview like you've never seen before. So one of my longest standing clients is the name Han. He's a barber in Carroll Stream, Illinois. And today we're gonna go do his interview and hear from him, his experience working with me in the program, how it's been, where he was at, and overall his journey as a barber and how he's grown. And also we're doing it though because we surprised him. So I booked a haircut under a secret name, Charles Bennett, which was my first YouTube channel's name, and didn't know, has no idea it's me coming. So right now all he thinks is that he just has a client who's going to be right on the edge of the cutoff for their appointment. And he's probably not going to appreciate that, but hopefully he'll forgive us because we're just going to get a lineup and I'm not going to take us all day. So you guys will see it. This will be a genuine reaction. He has no idea we're coming, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from his story. Later. For Han.
I'm going to see the light skin.
Hey, it's Charles. Charles Bennett, what up, my boy? All right, guys, welcome. So I semi-helped Han transform his business. He's responsible for more of it than me. So he's gonna transform this nappy ass hair I got while we do his client interview. Now, as you've seen from the beginning, he had no idea I was coming. How are you feeling today, Han?
I'm feeling groovy, man. A little nervous on his cut too.
Oh,
but it's
man,
all good.
look, you're like, man.
It's all good.
I put him under high stakes, okay? I showed up late to the appointment, no prep, put him on the camera, no time. So if you're trying to look at the cut, don't be doing all that. He's gonna be the GOAT. But
don't be doing all that.
Either way, he's under a lot of pressure. If you're a barber, you'd understand. I can't even imagine a similar situation for you. But I can tell you that it's probably not fun because I've done a lot of stuff.
It's all good though. Diamonds don't crack under pressure.
Yes,
you know
sir.
What I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So today's a Friday, bro. How's your Friday looking?
Juking, bro. You're actually my fifth one of the day.
Fifth?
Yes, sir.
Holy.
You've been in here grinding.
Oh my
Shop
goodness.
technically is not even open yet.
I was gonna say it's 9 a.m. here.
Yup. Shop opens at 10 technically.
Oh my God. Friday,
So
5 cuts in, 9 a.m.
We're rocking and rolling.
This guy. So, for you guys who don't know, I want to give a couple I'm going to ask some questions and try to give everybody just a glimpse of where you were at before we started working together versus where you've been at. We're going to do it in little parts because you've been working with me for a long time now. Yeah. I mean, probably one of the longer business clients we have. And I think you went through a couple different phases, in my opinion, with 3 in particular, which was like the first 90 days after the price range, and then recently with the timing.
Yeah.
So we'll go into kind of how you felt through all those, because I think they're all important for people, which I don't want to get ahead of myself, so I'll talk about that later. But so to begin, what made you want to be a barber in the first place?
Look, I was trying to save some money, man, honestly. Like, when I started cutting hair, I was getting jacked up at barbershops. I didn't know how to cut my hair at the time.
Damn.
I was paying like $50 getting jacked up. And realistically, I was like, you know what? Let me learn how to do this by myself just to save a little bit of money. And, I've always been the kind of guy that, like taking care of his own beard, stuff like that.
Right.
So that's just how it started. And then after that, I was working at a warehouse, and some people started noticing my haircuts, like, man, where you get your haircuts at? And I'm like, oh, I did it. Right. And eventually some of my homies were like, well, you think you could cut my hair too? And I started doing it. I started finding a passion. And it was my mom, actually, that was like, so you going to keep working at this dead-end warehouse job, or you going to go do something that you like doing? And I was like, well, shoot. That's kind of just the push that I needed to, gain some confidence to do it. And the rest is history, man.
Man, shout out moms, though.
Shout out to mom.
That's crazy, man, how I almost have a similar story where my mom had been almost forcing me and saying, you need to do YouTube. You should do these things for probably 2 years. And I just was like, nah, it's a lot of work. I can't put it in. And thank God that our parents sometimes know what's better than us. As a young man, I'm not going to say this all the time now, obviously, right? No. But so you had graduated in March of that year, right? 2024?
March of 2024, yeah.
Okay. And so I want to, because I think it's hilarious. How did you find me?
Instagram, bro. I just seen one of your ads pop up one day.
Okay. And I think it's hilarious for people that I'm always telling people they need to do. You already know what I'm about to say. But I just want people to know that there was a time, and it probably will return to this, but if you're seeing this video and it's been a while, where my Instagram bio said Arius Williams, #1 light skin life coach. Okay. And it's important, as funny as that is, because as you guys are probably looking, you know, we're estranged cousins here, right? Like we're the same look here. But oftentimes when people are making content, they're like scared to be themselves and say silly stuff like that. Like if anybody has ever met me in person or been on a call with me, like Han would know this after listening to me talk for over a year, is that I would say some shit like that in person if you knew me. Like that's just how I am. And I think what's cool about it is when you are who you actually want to be on the internet while you're doing these marketing things, what happens is you end up attracting your dream customers, people who you would love to work with and would like you on almost every level that only you could be like, right? Bring this point to a home, I'm pretty sure on the sales call, I used a Jujutsu Kaisen reference to bring my point home about why the program was needed.
Something like that.
Something like that. I don't remember what it was, bro. I said something about Jujutsu Kaisen. Maybe it was You Already In. But there was a point where I was just like, this is the only person I've been on a sales call that even knows what Jujutsu Kaisen is, right? And then it was like years later, he's like, yeah, dude, you know, I was in this school program for these barbers and they have like all these thousands of people and stuff, but it was a free group and I just never really did anything with it. But you're saying light skin life coach was like, oh, this is funny. Like, you know, like I can connect to it. What do you think was going on for you in that period? Like, what was the difference between working with me, even though I wasn't in your industry, versus somebody who was?
I think the biggest thing for me that kind of sold me was the, like, you not having, I think what they call like a closing team or something like that.
Yes.
And, you know, I was tired of it, man. People were, you know, like, oh, you know, let's get you in on a Zoom call. And then I'll hop on a Zoom call and it'll be some random dude in LA or something that I'd never seen before.
Yes.
And they would be like, oh, yeah, you know, we can work with you. You know, you need to make this much. You need to do X, Y, Z. And I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
I did not sign up for all that. So when the first thing, I think I don't remember this, what I told you was like, look, if I'm not going to talk to you, I don't really want to do anything to it. Right. And you send me like a voice message and stuff and you're like, bro, it's me. Like, I'm not going to steer you wrong. And yeah, we hopped on that Zoom call and it sure was you. And I think that just, it locked it in. I was like, okay, I'm actually talking to somebody that's doing what he, you know, what he says he's doing. And then the other big thing was like, you were a business owner as well, trying to grow your business at the same time. Yeah. And, you know, you like being in similar, well, I'm saying I like being in similar company as people that are doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that was the main selling points for me.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And it's something to this day, if you guys are messaging me, like, there was a point in time where I had tried the setter and closer thing, and it just never worked out for me. In fact, I'm pretty sure you popping in was right after I just fired the last one that I had tried to bring on. And I was just like, you know what, let me just hop in these messages myself and just genuinely connect with people, you know, just see what's going on. And ever since then, bro, I don't even do sales calls anymore. So like, as people know, if you want to know what it's like to work with me, all you got to do is DM my page, either Clarity or Boardroom. And it's going to give you all the details, the price, who I've worked with, why you should do it. And I do this because, one, I want to actually speak to the people I'm working with, and I don't want to have to sell anybody on anything. And I want to make everything available for people, fully transparent before they even get started, so they feel comfortable when they work with me, and it's a win-win situation, right? Like, that's just my #1 goal. And I think to say your point, if you focus on building your business with the sales call way, then to scale, eventually you have to hire other people. Like, there's only so many hours in the day for you to fulfill clients and see that. And so I think that can be sometimes the bad side of growing your business that people don't see, is there's great clients like you who will never sign up because they're not going to get to talk to you personally. And, you know, if you guys actually send, you know, genuine questions, I will respond. You know, until we are super famous and I physically cannot keep up with the DMs. You guys feel free to message me anything. I'll send back a voice note. You'll know it's me for sure. So going into the next thing, because I think that leads into a good point and where I wanted to go naturally. So the very first call we had after you signed up, right? Mm-hmm. I made 3 suggestions. And at this time, the fact of me not being a barber, I think helped more than me being one, okay? Because the ideas and this kind of suggestion of thought anyway is not something that would come from somebody in the industry, I believe. Mm-hmm. And those 3 suggestions were carried out in 3 separate phases, but I just want to hear it just so we're on the same page. I'm almost 100% sure every big move that we ended up making, I did suggest all 3 of those things the very first meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't deny it, yo.
So we're going to talk about all the 3 things that happened, but I just want everybody to know all 3 things was my first answer. And I think it's natural for your response to that. But one of the first things I suggested Han do, because of the area where he's in, was raise his price. Okay, and at the time it was $40 a haircut, I believe, right, for the base, sir. And so I suggested this not just purely off of, hey, you know, inflation, like everybody, the easiest way to make more money is to raise your price. It was based off of, in this area, looking at what other barbers with his kind of presence are doing, and we found one that you knew that was at, like, I'm pretty sure $100 to $120 a cut.
Yep.
And so me looking at that, I'm like, okay, we could at least go to like 80. And you probably would, it's a proven clientele that would pay this, right? Yep. And so then I will never forget this time. Han says to me, well, we got this expression in the barber industry that you don't have any business raising your price until your chair is booked out. And I don't know if you remember what I said back all the way.
I mean, essentially what you talk about.
I'm pretty sure I said, oh, that sounds like something broke people made up. And I meant it dead ass because you can end up, if a lot of people believe the same thing, then it feels true.
Yeah.
And if everybody in your environment believes it, then it really feels true. And so that can go with a lot of things as far as social media, overall business in general. If you talk to the everyday person, they're going to say, this is hard or impossible. And if you get around enough people who think the opposite, you start to feel crazy that you ever thought it the other way. Mm-hmm. And so have you ever had that experience now, like getting around more successful barbers as you've grown and like seeing like, oh, there's other people who are like, yeah, dude, we were waiting on you to figure this out.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because, you know, I'm like in between now, right? I see the barbers that have like, you know, achieved more than what I would want to achieve, and I see the barbers who are still struggling. And when, you know, I see people like, oh man, I can't raise my price because X, Y, Z, I'm not busy enough, I don't want to lose clients.
Yeah.
My biggest testament to that is that my chair like is now almost 3 times as busy as it was when I was charging a lower price, and I'm consistently booked out by the metrics that I follow, and yeah, I'm on my way to another price raise.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean, yeah, it's
nuts because we said, I think at the time it was like 6 days a week we were here.
Mm-hmm.
And
like 70 hours.
70 hours, crazy. See, I've been saying 60,
Wild.
but that's nuts, like
Wild.
70 hours, right? And so I think we broke it down. At the time, your like per hour rate of being here was like $17 an hour due to the amount of hours you were here divided by how much you're making in a month. It was
right.
like, fuck, I'm getting cooked from this. You know, it's $3,000, but I'm working my ass off to get this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, bro, you should just be available as time.
Like don't be open. Like take half the times off. I bet that it fills up.
Right.
And then the other little hack was, which I think is the most consistent thing you've used, and it's been time after time again. So if you own a small business, it does not matter if you sell something that's $8 or if you sell something that's $1,000 and higher. This works for everyone who has a business where you need people daily coming through. If you post your available hours every single day on social media, you will get more clients. I can just guarantee you right away, a simple story post, hey, this is when we're open from, come see us. This does two things. Number one, it confirms to people that you're open on that day. Because there's always that moment when you like want to go do something or go to a place you've never been before. You're like, oh shoot, I got to check to see if they're even open today. But the second part is when you post a story every morning, usually, that you're popping up on people's Instagram way more frequently first thing in the morning. And so where we learned this from is when we used to do brick and mortar locations, smoothie shops. The most successful one that we ever watched open, they've done this every single day for 4 or 5 years. They post their hours of availability. And I like to believe that's the main reason that they're so busy, is they're always top of mind. It makes it hard to forget to your customers that you're there. And so he started this right away. That literally the next 2 weeks, he texted me saying, bro, I just did 77 haircuts in 2 weeks. I'm tired. And so how did you feel that first when it was just crazy the next 2 weeks, bro? Like,
I was like, okay, this is what I want. This is the point that I wanted to be at. And it's not all that. It's really not. I'm tired. My body hurts. I don't have energy when I go home. Like, this is not it. This is what people say paying your dues feels like, but why does it feel like I've been working out for 24 hours, you know? And I was like, okay, that's nice, but this can't be it.
No. And it's crazy because I remember like that week after you hopped on and you were like, bro, I damn near don't want any more haircuts. I was like, well, that was a quick turnaround, bro.
Yeah.
Like a month ago, we gotta grow. I was like, now it's like, I'm done. But it happens, man. It's cool. And so then, I'm like, all right, bro, so raise the price. And just like he said now, you guys might be going through this. It was close to the holiday time. He's like, yeah, let me get through these holidays and stack up, because around the first of the year is typically a slower time for barbers, and we start to lose, some of that momentum. And I'm like, well, I mean, it doesn't have to be slow, but it's okay. And so he waits and waits and waits. And I think it was like 6 months straight of that 80% book rate.
Yep.
And you're like, okay. No, even then you're like, bro, I'm thinking about doing the price raise. And then I'm like, yeah, it's a good idea. And then he's like, what if I lose clients? I was like, well, dude, if you raise the price, for every 2 people you keep, or every 1 person you keep, you could lose 2 people and still make the same money. And I think that's when the light bulb went off. When we did that, I was like, even if you lose them, your money won't go down, but you'll be feeling better. And I'll never forget, you said that first week, you were like, bro, the people who tip just tip more. Like they just went up with it. And I was like, attaboy, man. So how did that feel that first week when you like worked? I think I remember too, it was like you worked like only half the time, but it was like the exact same amount of money in the month. Did it feel weird?
Dude, I felt great.
Did you ever feel guilty at all?
Honestly, no, not at all.
Good.
I was like, man, I was tripping on this for no reason. Like, I am as booked as I want to be. I'm making the amount of money I like to be. And at this point, I can scale this however I want and know that it works. You know what I mean?
And that's a certain level of clarity and peace I think feels really good. I think a key moment to that testament, it was like 3 or 4 months. And it gets on call. I'm like, hey, man, what can I help with? And he's like, bro, to be honest, big dog, business is good, man. Like, I'm trying to work on my personal stuff. I'm like, shit, man, all right, let's get to it. And like, I do think this is important. So the Mondays, right? I think that gave a lot of energy back, the early bird Mondays when you started it. Talk about that and why you did it and how that has like created a day for you.
So the early bird Monday thing just was an experiment at first. I wanted to see like, okay, if I was available not at the typical times that barbershops are open, you know, what kind of clientele, like what caliber of person would sit in my chair, and like, you know, would they come on a regular basis? So I started doing the early bird Mondays, and I realized, you know, there is a clientele for anybody who wants to build one at any time possible. And all you got to do is, you know, find it and be available.
Yeah.
And yeah, that worked out. So much so that now my early bird days are more of the running standard for my business. Like, I've been here since 5:30 in the morning.
5:30.
You know,
Yeah.
tomorrow I get here at 6. The only day I really come in late is Wednesday at 8. You know, so and
Late.
I mean, that's late.
Most
to
barbers
me.
ain't even open.
Right, exactly. So, you know, it just all goes to show that, like, you know, you want a clientele at a certain time, you want a clientele of a certain caliber, you can build it. The only person that's kind of telling you that you can't is you, because you've not done it before.
Yeah.
But anybody who's ever done it before, or anybody who's even tried it, can tell you, oh yeah, it works.
Yeah. I think something too, like what you said earlier, is like when you see somebody now that's at a level behind you, it's like, it almost gets frustrating sometimes when you try to explain what to do to get to where you're at, and you explain it in a simple way. And people often get frustrated with that, and they feel like you're like holding back secrets or something. It's like, there are no secrets.
There are no secrets.
As my favorite way is to describe this is the dragon scroll from Kung Fu Panda. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
and Paul worked all that time to deserve it, to be ready, just to find out he already had it the whole time.
It was him the whole time.
You know,
Man, this music right now is like, I didn't thought we would, write that chat, clip that, right?
but yeah, man, it's been really cool to see. I think you'll be inspiring for sure a lot of barbers watching this video, because, we looked it up the other day, and, I don't know, we got to pocket watch them a little bit, so we won't do the updated one. We'll do my last favorite one, but like, I'll never forget was it April? I texted you in May this, but it was April, no, August numbers, that's it, saying too many months. August numbers, it was like, bro, we did 6K altogether, a week off, 3 sick days, and more free haircuts for birthdays than you've ever given before. In a month.
Were born in August.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I have kids around the same time. It's that December, but that's what does it. It's cold outside. No, I'm just kidding. But I think my wife's behind the camera trying not to laugh. I think what's nuts about that though is like people think that when you raise your price, that means you're just greedy and like you're not trying to help anybody out. But when you raise your price and you as an entrepreneur get paid what you want and deserve to get paid, enough to make it worth taking all the risk, having all the uncertainty, like especially when you run a business, a service-based business, if something happens to you, then the business is gone. So that's a different level of risk than say somebody who runs like a product or e-commerce store or something like that, where whatever happens to them, the business is going to keep running. That they have less risk there. And even then, right, they have payroll and all inventory, whatever. Point I'm trying to make is you have to get paid what you want to make, because that's the fucking point of owning a business. If you signed up to be a business to make just enough to get by, or enough to not get judged from other people who don't make a lot of money, then you should have just got a job, in my opinion. Right? Like,
I would agree to that.
Like, there's high paying jobs that are better than owning a business with no stress or risk. I mean, they might have stress, but like, there's no risk involved. You'll guarantee, you get a little W-2, it's all good. That's what you want. And I think too many people leave 9 to 5 to become business owners, and they don't leave the 9 to 5 mindset with them. And so they're just assuming it's going to be, more difficult than it is, or not be able to make those choices that you've made and raise the price. But when you do, you're able to actually help people more. You're able to give more.
More so.
And easiest way to say it is like, you can't be helping other people if you're the person who needs help. Like, how does that make sense? So I think it's been an incredible journey. I'll let you guys see a little video of the finished cut. If you guys are in anywhere near the Chicago area, Carroll Stream, Illinois, you gotta come check my boy out at Creation Barbershop.
Tap in, please.
Tap in. We'll have the address on the screen. He's already busy though, so lock it in. Don't be playing with my boy. Now, you know what? That reminded me, bro, of actually my favorite story from you.
Okay.
You remember that first time you posted the story? This thing was probably like 2 weeks into posting the story availability.
Yeah.
And to give you guys even more sauce as barbers, what he does is every week, if he's got, I don't know, what day, you got a system now on what day you pull that?
The post?
Yeah.
Yeah, generally it's on Thursday, like right before the weekend if I have anything available, and then I do it once on Sunday just to let people know what's going on for the week.
See, okay. So 2 times a week, but on Thursday, if he's got any available slots still for the weekend, he just posts those on a story. And I'll never forget one of the first times he did this, he was like, bro, today somebody responded to my story like 5 minutes after I posted it. And I went to go on the website to book it for them, and they texted you, right, or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, when I went to go book it, somebody else had already booked it through the website. And I was like, dude, that's crazy.
It happens fast, man. It's getting to the point now where I have like people hop on a wait list because I was like, look, I can't keep track of people texting me wanting to know like, hey, let me know if I got availability. So there's actually a built-in wait list on our booking site now.
Did you hear that? Wait list. Follow your boy. DM me if you're a barber. Stop being broke forever. Stop being a walk-in warrior. Standing there, texting side bitches on Instagram, not making no money and talking about I'm an entrepreneur.
Clippers cold as hell.
Clippers cold as fuck. Ain't seen a scalp in 5 hours. You watch this whole interview in the chair right now. I know it. Okay? That's a problem. Let's fix that. DM me and you can have more money and time freedom. I think you've taken a week off every month for like the last 4 months, right?
Not a full week, but like a weekend or
4 days. Like
what I like to say is I've taken the prime time and I've just taken it off.
Don't care.
It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah, you know what? And that's what we do here. Okay, that's why if you have some type of objection as to why you should work with me specifically, watch more videos. I don't care. I don't need to sell anybody because I got enough cool people like Han and the rest of the clients that you guys will see as we start to film more of these client talks. We're doing a little client tour over the next couple weeks. You're gonna be seeing a bunch of these coming out. Sub to the YouTube. I don't know when we'll post the videos, but we'll do some fancy stuff where you can then look at all the links. In the free communities live, where I go live every week, and I put a course, in fact, the same course that Han paid for. Don't let him fight me for this. I know I've got clippers to my neck right now. I give it away for free for you. It's the everything in the basic principle as far as mindset and identity transfer that I taught him to help him let go during those initial transitions and make those big changes, because what a lot of people don't understand is the tactics are simple. You guys can look up stuff and ChatGPT will tell you how to grow your business. What's not easy is staying in the headspace to actually do it and do it consistently so that way you can get the result. Because then you don't do it, you try for a week, try for 2 weeks, give up, and then start to blame social media ads or whatever as to the reason why your business doesn't work, and none of those things are the case. So,
and I'll add to that real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's free now. Yeah. If you had asked me to pay for it all over again, I would.
Yeah.
Right, because it's been invaluable, and the return on investment that I've seen in my business, I'm not even worried about the money I spend anymore. Right, so I would always say invest in yourself, and this is a great way. One, because you're just working with somebody who knows what it's like to run a business. I mean, it's not that difficult to find someone who can tell you, oh, you're running a business, that's great. But it's difficult to find someone that goes, you're running a business, great, but why are you working harder than you need to? And it's not, nothing about being cocky or like overconfident, but it's about understanding that like sometimes working harder isn't gonna get you paid.
No.
And there are ways to do it without making yourself feel bad for it. And I think that's one of the most important things that I did working with you, is that like you just told me like, dude, you're a business owner, buck up and act like it.
Yeah.
And you see the results.
Yes, sir.
You see the results.
I appreciate you, bro. And just another testament to what he said. I'm not nice on these calls, just so you know. I'm not here to cupcake any of you guys, because you should be rich. And it pisses me off that you're not, and I know how to help it. So, again, subscribe, DM, do what you got to do. Watch more videos. I love you. But at the end of the day, you got it.
Peace.
Outside with my niggas, we doing the most. Grabs on the table, yeah, I been gone. At the base and shorty, she trumping it up.